Hello everyone, this is Moron Moffat. This is going to be a playlist about Doctor Who. More specifically, the Doctor Who episodes written by Stephen the Moron Moffat. Now I'm sure in real life he isn't a moron, but hopefully over the course of however many episodes I'm going to make, I am going to demonstrate the logical stupidities in his writing. Now there are plenty of examples of clever writing in Doctor Who. I am not disputing that. And let me add a clarification right now. I don't hate Doctor Who. I really quite like Doctor Who. I like the idea, I like the lore, and I like the idea of going off and exploring the galaxy. But what I don't like is inconsistency in anything. Now, if you want to just say, look, we didn't put that much effort in, then fair enough. Fair enough. If you're trying to get away with being a smart show, like if you were trying to tackle time travel with a time-travelling genius, and he has been quoted as being a genius, then you better be damn sure that there are going to be no holes in characters' logic, because people are going to jump on that. People like me. People that have literally nothing better to do with their time than pick holes in a fictional show. But you know what? I don't care if it's fictional. Saying, you know the show is not real, right, is not a legitimate excuse for sloppy writing. And Moffat is supposed to be a writer of a show. He gets paid money to write for Doctor Who. And if you call that writing, I will happily take the job for half the amount and probably come up with something twice as good. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't put that much effort into it. Right. Back to the point. So I like Doctor Who as a concept. Hate the writing. Moffat seems to be one of the most short-sighted and simply the dumbest writers in the Doctor Who series. But that is all going to come later on. The idea of the episodes will simply be, here's a concept or two, here's why it doesn't work, here's how you could have made it work for some of them are just irreconcilable. It can't be fixed. But the point is, he's getting paid for this. And if he's going to get paid for this, I'm going to point out his flaws, because these aren't really small flaws. I mean, if they were, I may not have even noticed them. But these are huge plot holes in the writing. And if you can give something even a moment's thought and it doesn't make sense in a show that's trying to be clever, then you've got a problem. It's not trying to come across as dumb TV, it's trying to be clever. It's always trying to be clever. It's always trying to give you these big reveal moments of, oh wow, that's how it works. Oh, that's really interesting. But that's not what it does. It can do that if you give it no thought. But if you want people to think, obviously, thought process is engaged and things aren't going to make sense. You see, when you have a television series that tries to make you think, like any mystery, it gives you the information as the main characters receive it. And as the main characters receive it, they're trying to work it out on the same pace as you are. And what the sign of a good writer is coming up with the solution just before anyone who's watching comes up with a solution. And that way, the person that is watching doesn't feel like an idiot, but does feel a sense of satisfaction, and does feel like that the main character is smarter than them. But at the same time, they don't feel like they've been left out, they don't feel like they're not making sense. It should make sense, it should follow through logically. And that's more or less a go-to thing for a mystery, isn't it? You go along with it, you work it out with them, they work it out first, but they work it out first because they're smarter than you, or they're written to be smarter than you. They don't work it out first because they have been given information beforehand that you weren't given. What's the point of setting up a mystery if you were never supposed to solve that mystery to begin with? That's just pulling the rug out from underneath you. That's not fair. You've been set up through the episode in a sense of, oh, I wonder what's going on. Oh, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. But then at the very end, they were given information that apparently they've known all along. And that's not fair. I'll give examples of this later on, but this is just an introductory video to the series. And you know what? I could be wrong. I am a fan of Doctor Who, Well, I wouldn't say I'm the biggest fan. I don't read Whovian Digest or all the fan comics, and I don't read all the agreed upon canon, and I don't read all the canon novels that come alongside it. There are plenty of books explaining further in the lore, and I'm not entirely sure all that canon and all that extra literature was also written by Moffat, so my original point still stands. But some of it was. And you know what? If there is something in those books that I haven't read, because I haven't read all of them, please tell me in comments, let me learn, help me better myself. Like, I am hoping Moffat in drunken stupor is going through YouTube and comes across these videos and in a moment of humility decides, yes, I would like to know what is wrong with my own show, discovers, oh yeah, that's a good point. Maybe I should address that in a future episode. That's unlikely to happen. I suppose the main purpose of these videos is more or less for me to rant and for people to watch it and go, yeah, that's a good point, David. That's actually a pretty good point. I agree. Or, actually, David, I think you're wrong. This is why this happened. This is the logic behind that. This is how the importance of such and such. That's what I want. Okay, so tell me if I'm wrong, tell me why, and give me sources. Don't just say I'm wrong because of blah blah blah. If the source is an episode, that's fine, I'll accept that. Point is, make the sources matter. They can't just be whatever you want them to be. You can't just assert, oh, that's just how this works. Logic can be asserted. I can say that doesn't make sense because it doesn't make sense. I don't need a source, I just have to source the episode. Here's the episode where he said this. That doesn't make sense because it contrasts with this said in the other episode, both written by Moffat. That can happen. That's a source, that's fine. You just saying, oh no, that works because of this, even though Moffat's never said anything to that effect, that doesn't really work. Though it is interesting, so please tell me anyway your opinions, because it might make sense, and I'm happy to let it go. I am. I like enjoying Doctor Who, but I can't enjoy it when there are such massive plot holes. So let me finish this intro video with this. I think Moffat's a tool. I think he comes up with cool sounding ideas. The concepts to his episodes are really good. Like there was one episode where he met Santa. That sounds pretty funny. I like that episode. It sounds dumb, but that's kind of cool. I mean, it's like a universe is so big, maybe Santa does exist. I mean, it turned out it wasn't, but the point is, it sounded as a cool concept. So he comes up with good concepts. At least I assume it's him. But then the execution is poor. It's like he comes up with something good, and then he doesn't care how that works. He comes up with a start, and he comes up with an end, and A to B doesn't care. Just whatever fits. If there's anything he can't think of how to write, it seems to be explained two ways. One, sonic screwdriver. How does he hack into that console? Sonic screwdriver. How does he know what's inside such and such? How does he know how this works? Sonic screwdriver. And his other write out just seems to be not mentioning it. He will maybe mention it once, or just bring it up and then never mention it again, and hope that you don't either.